Polycab and CNBC-TV18 present Infra Safety, powering India's electrical future.
As India accelerated its journey to becoming a global manufacturing powerhouse, electrical safety emerged as the backbone of sustainable and innovative growth. Polycab and CNBC-TV18 presented Infra Safety, powering India's electrical future, an initiative that brought together industry leaders, policymakers, and experts. Following the success of the inaugural Mumbai conclave, the Chennai edition further emphasized the critical role of electrical safety in transforming India's manufacturing sector. The event kicked off with a welcome address by Harish Bharadwaj, Vice President of B2B Sales at Polycab. His speech set the tone for the evening, dedicated to India's manufacturing evolution.
India's manufacturing story is one of resilience and transformation. The transformation in the last 6 years has been extraordinary. In financial year 2024, we achieved new milestones, such as exports from manufacturing industry hit $418 billion, marking an all-time high. As we drive this growth, it is crucial that we integrate electrical safety as a strategic pillar. The government and industry leaders are taking significant steps to ensure safe manufacturing practices. Initiatives like Make in India 2.0 and Atmanirbhar Bharat have laid the groundwork for industrial growth. It is now time to complement it with a focus on electrical safety, a critical element of modern-day manufacturing. Achieving a safer and more sustainable manufacturing future is a shared responsibility.
Srivatsaram, Managing Director of Wheels India and Chairman of CII Tamil Nadu, delivered a keynote address highlighting the pivotal role of manufacturing in driving India's growth story.
If you look at India, we have seen fairly rapid developments in some sectors. So if you take India and Tamil Nadu in particular, the electronics export has boomed quite rapidly over the last 5 years. And there is significant amount of exports which are growing. And the story is actually that while the global economy is sluggish, there's a lot of uncertainty around all of us, there are suddenly a lot of opportunities which are being presented by geopolitics, by the fact that we have certain level of scale in terms of domestic market also in India. And these are probably some of the factors which are driving manufacturing and investment in manufacturing. So India, if you look at us today, we are a great place to set up manufacturing. There is a lot of positivity which will take us through over the next 25 years. And as we scale up and as we grow and become more competitive, it's important that we have modern safety standards and safety culture inculcated in our manufacturing companies so that while we grow safely.
The opening panel discussion, moderated by CNBC-TV18's Jude Saneth, explored how electrical safety is crucial for efficiency, risk management, and productivity in India's bid to become a leading manufacturing hub.
Let me start with you, Mr. Balakrishnan. What is your assessment of the Indian manufacturing sector's preparedness vis-a-vis international safety standards? And what would you say is the way forward towards helping us become more globally competitive in terms of industrial and electrical safety, sir?
We cannot afford, as manufacturing unit or manufacturing facilities, anybody to die or lose their life because of electrical safeties in the industries. But unfortunately, I think previously, last 20 or 25 years back, till probably 15 years back, the safety record is not very good in the manufacturing industry, but it has changed for the last 15 years. But is it enough to meet the international standards? We need to ask a question to all the manufacturing people. Now, how to address this? There are various ways. I mean, some of the factors I can tell it out what we are not doing, probably the international manufacturing people are doing, probably the arc flash analysis and the PPE required for all the people who are going to operate in the electrical areas. It's well defined, we need to adopt it.
Mr. Krishna Kumar, maybe I could come to you on this. How much regulation do you feel may be a case of too much regulation? Are these regulations an outright boon? Is there something that we might perhaps need to do to make them better off, more improved, more sharpened?
So definitely regulations are required, but if the same agency is controlled by more than one regulation, just to quote, like Indian Electricity Act, Bureau of Indian Standard, we feel like multiple regulations. And also the frequency of change that comes, it becomes complicated. But if you ask whether, whether can we say like no regulations? Definitely not at all. How swiftly we can adapt to it and how swiftly we can practice it definitely makes the safety take it to the next league. But I am also seeing some complications, especially being faced by the MSME people, the cost of it and the capability, the people capability building for that definitely is an issue.
So, Mr. Bhushan, while regulations are something that we're talking about, the question is, how crucial is electrical safety, and what fundamental changes you feel have to be made or ought to be made in safety protocols to keep pace with the changing face of India's manufacturing prowess?
This is such an important area which we have to discuss about that, how we can make it more safer. Because, human people, everybody has a fundamental right to work in safe environment. And safety is so crucial, like electricity and energy, you cannot smell, you cannot see, you cannot watch even. And for human life, I think life is very, very precious.
Absolutely.
And we have a best of the technologies available. I will say there are 4 E, which is very, very important. One is the engineering. Whenever you are working in the factory, if your engineering is best, when you're thinking to work with the best of, that will be the class. Second is the education. If we don't have a skilled manpower, you cannot do anything. We have to give them the training. Third is your enforcement or equipment. But subject is only the adherence. Subject is the culture. But only the desire should come.
Right.
The leadership people should come that we have to work on the safety.
Absolutely. So, and I was wondering if I'd come to you, Mr. Gopakumar. In your opinion, how can Indian manufacturers create safer workplaces, reduce the risk of accidents, and demonstrate an overall commitment towards the well-being of their workforce?
You see, with respect to safety, at the moment the documents are paka. The standards, codes, all these are there. The knowledge about the standards, codes are also getting slowly, awareness is getting popular in the country. Now people should start adopting it in the industry. I'll say an example, if you allow me.
Sure.
For shock protection, we have, 2 days back, I was talking about a house. They spend about 40 lakh rupees for automation. Then I was checking the electrical wiring. There is no RCCB.
Okay.
That's very
Means people will get, your children are going to get, So you need a 30 milliampere RCCB as a shock protection because people should not get shock. Now the question is, there are 4 types of RCCBs. AC, the old one, type AC, A, F, B. AC has been banned in Europe. The type A, F, B, these are only produced, sold in Europe and American countries. Our standard rules, regulation also demand the same system. But unfortunately, type AC RCCB is only available in India. The other 3 are not available in India. So the manufacturers first, they should make these products available in the market because there are people, I know people, those who wanted to buy the product, but this is not available across the counter.
Right.
So, if we look in that way, a lot of revolution should happen.
A. Thanapal, Assistant District Officer at Tamil Nadu Fire and Rescue Service, delivered a special address highlighting innovations in electrical safety and the importance of balancing safety with progress.
So here, the panelists told us that 3 E's, engineering approach. They told us, they discussed about the engineering approach, education, and enforcement. All 3's are here. Then why is happening? So in India, I'm telling only in Tamil Nadu, So we are attending many fire calls. At the last, we are hearing about what is the causes of fire. When we investigate, when we came to know, it is only the causes of fire, electrical short circuit. I don't know how it is happening. When the people are doing, from the designing, they are thinking, they are purchased the quality of the materials, they are using the channel, then how it has happened? Why it has happened? The simple question is the poor maintenance and the alteration. Sometimes when you are start, we are doing in the right. When the days are goes, we are forgetting. We are forgetting many things. So that is the problem. Some of the things are happening. Electrical safety is nothing but we have to adopt all 3 E's and we have to achieve the goals.
Polycab and CNBC-TV18 present Infra Safety, powering India's electrical future. Polycab and CNBC-TV18 present Infra Safety, powering India's electrical future.
Welcome back to Polycab and CNBC-TV18 present Infra Safety, powering India's electrical future. After the insightful keynotes and discussions, the focus shifted to how technology is transforming electrical safety in manufacturing with innovations like predictive maintenance and advanced cabling solutions. Bhushan Sahni from Polycab joined CNBC-TV18's Jude Senath for an insightful fireside chat.
Polycab has, of course, taken this industry-leading initiative to bring to the table various stakeholders, various ideators, so to speak, when it comes to discussing the important issue of electrical safety. Can I start by asking you, in terms of how this decision came about and what triggered an initiative of this kind in this scale, Mr. Bhushan?
As Polycab, as a national leader, I will say we are the leader in wires and cable, holding somewhere at 28 to 30% of our market share. I think this is our prime responsibility to tell about the people, to create awareness. The awareness is basically a link which is missing in between. If you are aware about the safety, if you are aware about the danger, I think you people will not take that risk. And we, being as a leader or manufacturer, took this year the responsibility that we will create more awareness by doing all audits, by doing all engineering, by scaling the manpower, which is, I will say, in every sector, we as a national leader wants to work for India, that the safety is not the expenses. Safety is not the wastage, it is prime requirement. Absolutely. Because everyone has a right to live in a safe environment.
What do you think are some of the challenges that manufacturers face when it comes to maintaining electrical safety across their operations, and how do you think this can be addressed more specifically at a sectoral level?
What challenges is coming? The legacy machineries, I will say, which is basically outdated machineries and all, outdated switch gears and all, bad quality of wires and cables, not adhering the skilled manpower, not adhering the requirement of the IS. And I will, sorry to say, it is not the state agenda. It is not the national agenda. It's not the central agenda. No, people want to talk on it. And you see, if we are talking about the growth, we are growing by 15%, 20%. So on the cost of what? 15 people dying there? It's not the growth.
Absolutely.
We have not thought of such. I can say the Sashakt Bharat will happen when it is Surakshit Bharat. And Surakshit Bharat will happen only when it will start from the owner who's manufacturing or the user.
The conclave's final panel discussion focused on cultivating a culture of electrical safety, preparing a future-ready workforce, and enhancing compliance in manufacturing. The session was moderated by Mugdha Kalra.
In the last 4-5 years, if there have been mishaps, is it the manufacturing industry that is facing the most of them? And if they are facing the most of these mishaps, what is the primary reason in their existence that is causing this?
It's a joint effort from the 3 people. One is designer. Since I am part of the designer, even I can select correct product. When selecting product, I can specify project will execute. Then after execution, then maintenance. These three things we have to properly maintain. So then only your safety will look like it will be a continue. But even after 1 year, people will always say that, okay, 1 year, these are all the product under the warranty. After warranty, will be take care. See, there are codes, there are products, okay. Then end of the day, everything available, if we are not doing proper maintenance, then it will be a major issue.
Mr. Krishnamurthy, if I may come to you, safety is non-negotiable, there's no doubt about that. I want to talk about F.L. Smith's personal experience of how do you train your workers? What do you tell them about security and safety that it is ingrained in the DNA of the company? If you can give us some of those compliances that you follow at your own unit in terms of preparing everybody, then maybe the ones who are sitting here can take home some call to actions.
See, we start with always, the safety will start with leadership, and it will be a management commitment. The moment we start any of the meeting, we'll give a safety share. The first slide, first point, first discussion will be the safety point. The safety point will come from the yesterday, what we learned, what we observed on the shop floor. Then we'll have a regular weekly meeting, which will be called as a gate meeting, where we will involve our blue collars to play some dramas based on the real incident happened on the shop floor. Similarly, we will have a safety committee meeting monthly once.
When we are trying to change mindsets, Mr. Gopinath, I want to understand when we talk about consultants like you getting to manufacturing stakeholders, what is your first understanding about them? What are the things that you look at them to understand what is the nature of this company and what should I be suggesting? Because I'm sure everybody comes with very different standards and priorities and prioritizations of safety.
As a consultant, after some time, I try to personalize the experience to the listener also. You have to connect. There are here hundreds of listeners like that. When we present our design presentations, there will be multiple people sitting. It will be boring subject for them. But what I used to do, I have a video which was flashed in all the television channels, I think 3 years back during the Corona time. In Mumbai, there was a 50-story building which was under fire. On 20th story, one guy was hanging. Most of you may be remembering that. From there, because of the smoke, he could not hold on. He left, and from there he fell and he died. I indicate any of your customer, if this is the scenario, what is the, the tag, your company tag, what you get, and personally how you will feel. You deliver a product for 15 to 20 crores one apartment, and you, once in a while, maybe once in 20 years, 25 years, you get an accident where he will curse and it is not going to give you any happiness or satisfaction, what the product you delivered. So this is how we try to at least they allow us to make the provision, the shafts and the openings. If the fire inspectorate insists or somebody insists, later they can do the installations. So this is how I try to make the personalized experience so that we can change the, the thinking of the clients and bring this safety awareness.
Wonderful. I think that kind of storytelling has to be done when we have to talk about safety and compliance as well. All right, Nikhil, I'm going to get you in here. You guys are the market leaders, OGs of this business. There is so much happening in the field. And now the shift that we are seeing in the last 7-8 years is people are collaborating. People are leaving the job to the experts and saying, no, we will not do this on our premise, on our own, but we will hire somebody who knows the business, who knows what can go wrong, who knows when something goes wrong, how do we fix it, who can customize it for us, etc. what kind of internal compliances as a company you go through, and what are the kind of regulations and safety certifications that you have to get in place for actually then going to the market and saying that, all right, you can trust us completely implicitly?
See, Mugdha, I think firstly for us, safety is, it's hygiene, okay? Within Polycab, we are very, very clear. Safety is hygiene. It's not something that you expect. It's something that is there, has to be there. There's absolutely no question. I'm going to throw in some examples of what we've done in terms of customizations. If you read enough data, majority of the deaths actually take place because of inhalation, right? And people cannot move. So what we did is we actually went out and created a product called Green Wire. Right? This is more for residential applications. And this product gives out kind of white smoke, right, in very layman terms. So you can see and you can move around, right? Today, it's become the largest selling premium product in the country. But it was not easy, because for something like this, you have to go and educate. You have to go and create a lot of awareness. We've taken the onus upon us to work with guys like NSDC and actually go out and, whether the electrician is working with whichever brand, it doesn't matter, but educate him. Try and make sure he does this sort of exam and gets certified and becomes a certified electrician as per the government's requirements. So I think, these things are absolutely critical. So, we're constantly working on things like that, on how do we either improve the industry or reduce imports for the country.
As the Chennai conclave concluded, the discussions highlighted the pivotal role of electrical safety in shaping India's manufacturing future. Experts and industry leaders reflected on the sector's evolution, emphasizing how safety, innovation, and technology drive progress.
Polycab and CNBC-TV18 present Infra Safety, powering India's electrical future.